So our first layer of security is at the front door. So our first priority is to make sure that symptomatic individuals stay home. Temperature and health screenings are done for each individual every time you arrive for class. In the event that you develop any symptoms of respiratory illness or fever while you're in a class, you'll have options to keep up with coursework virtually until you have a clean bill of health. So after screening out symptomatic individuals, our next priority is to make sure that any asymptomatic carriers don't breathe virus particles into the environment. And that second layer of security, you can already see, mutual mask use is the first step there. All people on premises at Zen Shiatsu Chicago wear masks the entire time that they're on site. All right, here we are in the classroom. And the first thing I want to show you is the HEPA filters that are installed at intervals in the room between all the workstations. So these are air purifiers with filters that are drawing air. In the event that there were any particles that escaped someone's mask, those particles are drawn towards the HEPA filters away from any of the working pairs and sucked up there. So this really forms that second layer of defense. First of all, we've kept symptomatic individuals off premises with the temperature and health screenings. But if we did have an asymptomatic carrier who was breathing out any virus particles, first, the vast majority will be caught behind the mask with the mutual mandatory mask use. In the event that any amount of virus particle were to escape the mask, that's being then drawn towards the HEPA filters in the center of the room. So the next layer of defense is the spacing of the workstations themselves. So we've made floor markings and measured out the spacing of the stations so that receivers are all 10 feet away from each other. This means that even with a student going around that person to give the shiatsu, no pair of students will ever come within 6 feet of the other pairs. And in class, you'll work with just one dedicated practice partner to keep the overall number of interactions you're having with different people down. So you and your partner will remain socially distant from each other working pair. You'll also have your dedicated workstation and dedicated sheet. So Christina can show us here as well how the floor futons themselves, we put down a cleanable vinyl layer on the bottom and then the sheet over that. So you as a receiver would just have the one sheet that's for you to lie down on, and then in between trades, we'd bring that sheet up, wash down all of the vinyl surfaces underneath, and then your partner would have their own dedicated sheet that they would set down for them to lie down on. And all of our other equipment as well, the bolsters are all washable vinyl surfaces. The massage tables, the surfaces are all disinfectable as usual. And then finally, students will be sanitizing their hands before and after each exchange. And we've instituted routine surface disinfection protocols throughout the facility. So at the moment, few to no cases of COVID-19 have been reported as transmitted through surface transmission, but we still have all those protocols well established just as a precaution. So to review, that first layer of protection is at the door with the temperature and health screenings to keep symptomatic individuals out. And then next, in the event of asymptomatic carriers, this really comes down to preventing any kind of particles from getting anywhere where they can do harm. The mutual mask use really keeps the vast majority of particles behind the mask. If anything were to come out the edges of the mask, that's where the HEPA filters come in to draw that air into the filter. And then just as additional precautions, the spacing, making sure that practice partners stay at least 6 feet away from all other pairs, having a dedicated practice partner and dedicated workstation. And then the surface disinfection protocols. This whole set of safeguards is what have been keeping people safe in other situations where personal services are being offered. It's what's keeping our clients and students safe here at Zen Shiatsu. A complete list of our safety protocols can be found on our website for your review. We're adhering to guidance from the Illinois Board of Higher Education and the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards. Touch therapy remains a vital and nourishing part of life. Our clients have all been glad to return, and we've been glad to share this work with them again. We hope that the environment we're providing gives you the security to engage with this work and pursue your calling towards the healing arts. It's an honor and a privilege to share this work with you, and we're committed to helping you access this training in a way that's safe.